Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich with life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm the Clydesdale. We are so stoked to be able to profile all the, well, not all, but a lot of the athletes from the 2024 Legends Masters CrossFit Games. And I have with me tonight Lacey Truelove. Lacey, how's it going?
Hey, good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. A little bit nervous, but excited.
Nothing to be nervous about. We're just gonna chill and have a good time.
Yeah.
How many times do you get asked, is that your real last name?
Oh, it's so funny. Like all the time. Everybody thinks it's a fake name, but born and raised with it. Never changed it. Got married. Never changed it.
Wow.
But yeah, it's all mine.
It is very unique.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it's different. I don't know the background of it. I've always wanted to do one of those like 23andMe to see where it came from, but yeah, I haven't gotten around to it yet. One day.
It's funny. I'm friends with Ariel Lowen, and her maiden name is Armstrong.
Okay.
And she always wanted to keep that because her IG, after her name, she put the arm, the strong arm, right?
Yes.
And getting married, she didn't want to take Dylan's name because she didn't want to lose that emoji.
Yeah. There's, I've always found it so strange when you get married. I got married, got divorced, kept my name, thankfully, throughout the entire thing. But it's always so strange to me when a woman gets married that she just has to give up her name that she's had her entire life. And so it's funny you say Ariel's maiden name is Armstrong. My children are Truelove Armstrong hyphenated. So they have the best of both worlds.
So now they can use the emoji.
They can. Thank you, Ariel. I will use that for my children one day.
There you go. I was researching you today, and I learned one that you were doing Irish dance at 2.
Oh my gosh, hilarious. Well, so I was from a very small town in Strathroy. They had no real sports really at the time when I had first started. So my mom was like, I have to put her in something. So Irish dance was just this little thing that they had going on in a teeny tiny little nook. And she threw me in there. They had a little gymnastics class that followed. There was maybe 10 girls in it. It was tiny, tiny, tiny. So yeah, Irish dance.
And that was not your passion because you left that to go to gymnastics.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's so funny. My mom and I were talking about that story just yesterday. I was so little. at the time when she had put me in it. And it was such a short-lived experience. But the girls who followed me were gymnasts, and I would always just watch them. I was so mesmerized by the gymnasts that followed. And they were also very, very young. They were no Simone Biles by any means. But they were just, walking on a low beam, doing some cartwheels and somersaults. But I guess I found that more appealing than tiptoeing around and doing some high kicks for the Irish dance.
Yeah, we actually have really good friends whose daughter, I think she still does Irish dance in college.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, like she took it the whole way.
Yeah.
But
they're actually quite amazing to watch, really.
The dress alone
Yes.
was like extremely expensive.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll give it a go again. We'll see.
There you go. Just for the dress.
Yeah, just for the dress alone.
So you do gymnastics. It said in the article I read that you wanted to be an Olympic gymnast. You wanted to be Simone Biles.
Yeah. Yeah. Much older than Simone Biles, but yeah. I don't know. At a young age, I just knew that I wanted to be excellent. And so whatever sport that I decided to go into, the goal was to go as far as I could go in it. And so with the sport of gymnastics, the Olympics that's the peak of success within that sport. So yeah, at a very young age, I knew that it was either all or nothing, really, all or nothing.
I can relate to that because I was a swimmer growing up,
Okay.
and
Yep.
the only place you can end to be the best is the Olympics.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I realized in high school that was a fleeting thought in my mind.
Right.
And then it just became, can I pay for college?
Yep.
Right. And
Mhm.
then, which I know you hit that point too, where you realized the Olympic dream was not there.
Yeah, yeah. At such a young age, at 15, like 15 years young, you realize, you know what, my life is not going to amount to what I want it to within this sport. And so we made a decision to switch sports, but it's one of those sports, gymnastics especially, we know this about the sport, that it's a young sport. If you don't have it, you know pretty quickly. And so I'm not necessarily sure if it was I didn't have it or I didn't have the means to succeed within the sport, because what we had available within my city and slightly outside of the city just wasn't enough to get me there. And so I do think I would have had to have probably gone to the States in order to make that happen. And at 15 years old, we weren't going to move to the States to do it. It's not like I was going to school or anything. So that wasn't in the cards. So we made a quick switch to a different sport.
More towards my end of the spectrum, and that is,
Yeah,
you were diving into a pool.
I was. Yeah. So gymnastics, just instead of landing on our feet, we landed on our head instead.
It's so funny you say that. I was just watching a YouTube video maybe 2 weeks ago, and there's like an influencer who is a like mega high diver from Canada.
Okay. Yep.
Her name escapes me. And then there's a gymnast who was a gymnast at UCLA, and they both have channels where they try different sports.
Right. Okay.
In together, and
Yeah.
gymnast tried diving and the diver tried gymnastics.
Right.
And it was so cool. But the one thing they said is the rotation was the hardest part, because in one sport you land on your feet,
Yeah.
the other sport you land on your head.
Yes. Yes. I would think watching that, I would think the gymnast would be thrown off far more than the diver, because in diving, we would land on our feet in all of the buildups to the head entry. You would do the foot entry at some point. And so it's a little bit, obviously in gymnastics, the goal is never to land on your head. So one of the sports has access to the other side of the spectrum. It's funny. I think I used to coach a girl when I was in Houston. Her name is Ellie Smart. She's a Red Bull cliff diver. Sounds awfully familiar as to the YouTube channel that you're saying. I just saw her put up a video the other day of her trying. Maybe it was skateboarding. It may have been skateboarding, but just a one-off sport, but just a very, very talented Red Bull cliff diver. That sport is that's wild. It takes it to the next level.
Yeah,
Those
this
guys
girl
are
is a Red
crazy.
Bull cliff diver.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
girls I trained with in Houston, she competes for the Netherlands in Red Bull cliff diving and is just loving it.
Yeah, I've bungee jumped in my life, but
Mhm.
but the older I get, the harder like that big heights thing is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's you have a respect for life as you age. You respect your time on this earth. And so as you age, it's like, nah, I don't know about that. When you're younger, you just have this complex of nothing can hurt me. And so you age out of that, I think.
When I was in high school, I was at a swimming meet, and they had a diving well beside, and there was a girl practicing on the 10-meter platform,
Yeah.
and she missed a dive and smacked like the water hard. They pulled her out on a stretcher.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
my buddies were like, hey, let's go off the 10-meter.
Let's do
Seeing
that.
and, hey, let's go do that. It was,
Don't sign me up. Yeah. I've had one of those occurrences where I had to be pulled out, taken to hospital. It was a whole ordeal. It's a scary sport. It's risky.
So what did you dive?
I was a 10-meter platform. That was my specialty in university, because I was in the States. And so it was the NCAA circuit. we did all of them. So we did the 1 meter springboard, we did 3 meter, we did synchro, and my specialty was 10 meter platform. And so, yeah, there was a lot of smacks. Let me tell you, there was a lot of smacks. It's scary. There's a lot of fear involved with that sport.
I know they've gotten better with bubblers to like break the surface tension as much as you can and all of that stuff. But it's cool that you were 10-meter specialist, because that even lends itself even more to CrossFit and that your gymnastics background, because a lot of times you start on your hands.
Yes. Yeah. So not just with gymnastics, doing a lot of handstand work. I actually got much better with my handstand work when I went into diving, because the difference in gymnastics is you can fall down, but you're going to kick up to handstand and then land on your feet. In diving, when you're on the platform, you're 33 feet up in the air, 10 meters. So we kick up into an arm, they call it an arm stand instead of a handstand. You kick up, you have to hold it, show the judges control, and then proceed to do your dive. So you're kind of forced into a situation where you have to have that body control in order to hold it. And if you don't execute it properly, then you've fallen off the platform, and then you're just trying to survive at that point.
Yeah. Fallen 33 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing what as young individuals we will do. And we will try.
Yeah. Like I said, just fearless at a certain age. I remember just not having fear on the 10-meter platform until I started to learn the big dives, like the Olympic dives. And there were a few of them where I would literally see my life flash before my eyes. And it was one of those like, we're going to survive, we're not going to survive, we'll find out kind of things. But we went for it every time. And it's not dissimilar to Olympic weightlifting. I always say your body moves so quickly that it's just the neural pathways are carved. Your body knows what to do. Your brain knows what to do. There's still fear involved, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up landing on your head. Olympic weightlifting, very quick. Your body naturally knows what to do because you've put it through the movement pattern so many times that it ends up pretty decent. There's a couple of technical flaws along the way, but you're always going to land it.
Yeah, my sister was a diver, so
Okay, so
I watched a lot of it, right? And she was amazing. Like as a tiny girl, she was like 8th in our state, up against people much older than her.
Yeah,
and then she had a couple accidents where she hit the board, hit her head on the bottom of the pool, hit her face on the bottom of the pool, and then that really like slowed her progress way down.
Of course, yeah, that's a bit of trauma. When something like that happens, it's so hard to get past it. I've seen it happen many times, and it's something that stays with you for every single dive that follows. So I would understand how that would deteriorate pretty quickly after that point.
So you were good enough to make Olympic trials in diving.
Yeah. I went in 2012, 2008, and 2012.
So here you are as a gymnast, wanted to be an Olympian, had to give up on the dream. In just 4 short years, or I'm not doing the math well, all of a sudden you're in another Olympic trials for a completely different sport, and at least you have a shot.
Yeah. It was wild. So retired from gymnastics, retired at the ripe age of 15, and then started diving. Just because the sport is so similar. I picked it up obviously quite quickly, qualified for my first nationals after the first competition that I had gone to. And it all just moved very, very quickly. And so I think because it moved so quickly, I recognized immediately, like, okay, the Olympics is not off the table for this sport. So we trained really, really hard. 2008, we went to trials. 4 more years, we were like, okay, next one will be okay. 2012 came up. We missed it. That one was a hard one to miss. We trained really hard for it. There's girls in the sport who have done it for a lifetime. So whilst I had done gymnastics for such a long time, they had started in the pool the same time I had started gymnastics. So that experience was just far more robust than what I had even just from the gymnastics alone. But the experience was, it was something that I carry with me today into CrossFit.
Yeah, I never got to go to the Olympic trials in swimming, but I did go to the Olympic trials like 2 months ago for
Uh-huh.
swimming here in the States
Yeah.
because it was only like 2 hours from my house.
Okay.
And it was the coolest experience. Just being a spectator, I
Yeah.
cannot even imagine.
It's
being able to participate.
it's one thing to watch it on TV, but then to be in the same area as the athletes, to see how they move through space, to see how they warm up, how focused they are. Swimming is a very different sport. Those athletes are they're so dialed in. I remember in university, the swimmers were just at competitions, they were like laser focused. They always knew down to the second or the millisecond what their time was going to be in their swims. And I was always just so amused by the detail that they put into their swimming, regardless of the distance. It could be a sprint, it could be a long distance, and they knew exactly what time they were going to get. It was just wild.
Yeah. That's probably was my problem is there was a little variance there. I could
Right.
never figure out the perfect pacing.
Right.
Like I had a private coach and I could just never hit that perfect pacing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I either went out too hot or I didn't go out hot enough.
What was your specialty?
So for most of my career, it was distance, 200 free, 500 free. In college, it was 1,000 and 1,650.
Okay. 1650. Whew.
Yeah, a mile.
Wow. Yep. That's a good trek.
And then my favorite time is for a brief moment in my career as an IMer. And I loved that. I wish I would have done that much longer in my career. I think I would have been great at it.
Yeah. Just a little more variety.
I just missed nationals by like a half a second.
No.
And that's with not doing it my whole career. Like,
right.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, eh? A half second. And then you go through your mind and you think of all of the areas in which we could have gained that half second. That's always so tough.
I was a great butterflyer, a great backstroker, and a great freestyler. My breaststroke was atrocious.
Yeah. There's so much technique. There's so much technique in it. Honestly, so much. I've been swimming. I'm not a swimmer. Never going to say I'm a swimmer, but I've been swimming in preparation for the games. Just at a YMCA, a local YMCA, trying to do 1,000 meters of just like a front crawl. And so I've been doing there and back front crawl and then breaststroke, front crawl, breaststroke. And there's actual swimmers next to me doing butterflies and backstroke and just so smooth. And here I am just trying to survive, really, just trying to survive. But it's a tough sport. It's very, very humbling.
I wish CrossFitters would just learn backstroke.
Okay.
Because it's the best recovery stroke. Because you don't have to plan your breathing.
Right.
Your face is exposed at all times.
Right.
And it's faster than breaststroke. If a CrossFitter could just figure that stroke out,
right,
they would be so much better in the water.
Okay, I'm taking that. I'm taking it. I'll go crawl, backstroke. Taking the notes. Gonna use it.
One, your arms are moving in the opposite direction than they are when you're doing front crawl.
Right.
So it's loosening back. It's breaking up the lactic acid, and your face is exposed the entire time, so you can breathe. Okay.
Well, let's give it a go. We'll see how it goes. It's funny you say that. I was just talking to one of my teammates the other day. We were laughing about Wadapalooza. We had done some swim training for Wadapalooza, and then we get there and end up just swimming with our head above water, no technique, survival mode only. Everything that we had trained had gone out the window because at that point, after worm thrusters and burpees, it was just keep my head above water so I don't drown. All that training.
Yeah. It's fight or flight.
Yes.
You get it. Yeah. You do weird things that you don't think you would do in stressful situations.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I try to keep these to 30 minutes. We're already at 20 and I haven't even got into your CrossFit.
All right, let's do it.
So we're going to try to speed this up so I can be respectful of your time. But I do have one more question, and that is, you're from Canada, which I don't even think we've said on here.
Yeah.
And at a point, you made the decision to come to the States to go to college at the University of Houston.
Yes.
That is you said in this article that is frowned upon in the sports world of Canada.
Yeah.
When you go to the States. I did not know that. Can you, because I'm a co-host with Carolyn Prevost on,
Yeah, I
she's
saw
my
that.
co-host,
Yeah.
and she left Canada to go to the University of Wisconsin to play hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I can't say, I don't want to blanket statement it and say that it's for all of the sports. Diving is very big in Canada. We're very well known for high quality diving. And so they like to keep it very close to home and develop the athletes themselves. And so the idea of an athlete going to the States, they've lost control of that athlete at that point. So, when I say frowned upon, maybe not frowned upon, but not overly encouraged to step outside of the training framework that Dive Canada has built out. So it's a tough decision for an athlete, but opportunity is opportunity. And so if there's an opportunity to get a university education while diving at the University of Houston, I had the opportunity to dive with Russian Olympians and just, level up my diving by putting myself in an environment where I was forced to watch the best in the world train. And I got to train with the best coach in the world. She's at the Olympics right now and just won an Olympic silver medal. So it was a huge opportunity and not something that I was ever going to pass up.
Well, and I guess like the weird thing in my head was you don't want to piss people off in a judge sport.
Yes. It's a tight-knit community.
Right.
Yes.
And you don't have to answer this. Do you think it ever affected your judging at like Olympic trials?
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly.
That's
It's okay. Judge sports are judge sports, right? And I think when the judges are all within that tight-knit community, you're going to have biases always. And so there's certain areas that excel and they have additional funding and they have support. And so those athletes often get highlighted. And if you're outside of that, even within Canada, it's very difficult to be viewed in the same way. So stepping outside of the country and then coming back into the country to compete, it was a bit tough. Yeah.
Humans are humans and they're going to have biases.
Of course. It's only natural.
Yeah. So you qualify we're going to skip way ahead now.
Let's do it.
You qualify for the CrossFit Games. You're a rookie.
Yeah.
Are you, so I don't know your exact age. Are you just turning into the Masters?
I'm 35. So this is, I will be the first year of Masters. Yeah.
So this was your first opportunity to jump at this. Was it the plan all along?
No. Was it the plan? Oh my gosh. No, I was at, so funny. I was at Wadapalooza with one of my friends. Her name is Meg Garrett, who also qualified in the women's category. She'll be going for 40 to 44, I believe. She looked at me when we were at Wadapalooza and she said, Lace, like you could qualify for the games. Do you know this? And I said, Meg, I don't know if that's actually possible. It's always been a dream. And so when she said that, it just started the wheels turning. And my coach was like, yeah, I've known this all along. This has been something that I've always known you were able to do. But for me, because the games is like the Olympics of CrossFit, amazing. Let's get there one day. At 35 years old, after having 2 kids, owning a business, starting a brand new business within the year, I didn't think that now would be the time to do it. So was it in the plan? Probably in the master plan, yes. But did I think it would happen on the first go at being Masters? No, I didn't think so.
So it's kind of not come out, but it's been revealed to us that a lot of athletes that are competing in the elite division have the same background that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Gymnastics and diving seem to be a really good mix for body awareness or whatever it is that gets you to that elite level.
Mm-hmm.
So you came in with that behind you. You've been doing this since 2014.
It's been a long time.
Your first open was 2014.
Yes.
So 10 years into CrossFit, you make it to the games, but your quarterfinals, you finished 40th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I don't know what happened in the 2 weeks between quarters and semis. You finished 5th.
We finished 5th. Yeah. Yeah.
Skill level go up.
Did the skill level go up? Nothing changed. My skill level didn't go up.
Right,
No, nothing changed.
workouts.
The workouts were beautiful workouts for me. I will be fair and honest. When the workouts started to come out, I was like, oh, okay, another one. Yeah, we can do this. We can definitely do this. And as they released, it just became quite apparent that this was something that we could not just qualify for, but put ourselves in a pretty good position going into the games themselves. And I have to say, I've had a lot of help to get to the point that I've gotten to. I have an amazing programmer I work with, Mammoth, and my coach, Billy Gooding, is phenomenal. We've worked together for such a long time. I've had some teammates that have just been phenomenal. The environment in which we train sets all elite athletes up for success. And so I think it's been a perfect storm. Really, semifinals was a perfect storm for me. So stepping into that and executing the workouts how I did has given me a lot of confidence going into the games. That's for sure.
Well, I'd say you finished 5th.
Mm-hmm.
That would have qualified you under the old rules where they only take top 10.
Yeah.
You made it by a long shot under the new rules.
Yeah.
Do you train at your own facility or do you train at an affiliate or?
Yeah. So our facility is a bit different. So I am an owner at the facility. So it's Team London Hybrid Training Center. And we have Team London CrossFit, the affiliate within the training center. We have a hybrid program that we run. We have a High Rocks affiliate that we run in there as well. We have a weightlifting club that runs, it's a registered weightlifting club as well. So there's a lot of excellence under one roof. And what we've created within our program is we have Team London Academy. So the academy is a lot of elite athletes and a lot of ex-athletes. So a lot of football players, track athletes who have retired from their respective sports, not dissimilar to when I retired from diving, who have come in and said, I'm done with that sport, but I still want to be excellent at a sport. And we all know that CrossFit is so accessible. And if you have a sport background, stepping into it, they'll have strengths in different avenues because they come from different sports. But when you take all of these elite athletes and you put them under one roof and have them train together, magic happens. And so that's the environment that we've created within our program. And it's nice because I'm a product of that program, and being an owner of the gym and a creator of the program itself has been such a beautiful process to go through, wearing all different kinds of hats along the way. So
how do you balance all of that?
how do I balance it all?
You're also a mom of 2. And
Yeah, I'm a single mom of 2. I have a lot of determination. I'm stubborn. I'm very, very, you ask my coach, I'm very, very stubborn. I know what I want and I will work very, very hard to get there. Like I said before, like when a 2-year-old decides that they want to go to the Olympics, I think it was pretty clear that at a young age, there was vision. I've always had a lot of vision and determination to get there. So, the kids get to watch me do it. And that's just additional motivation and additional drive. And there's so many people within the affiliate and the training center that we run that get to be a part of the process with me. So I've always said it's not me doing it. It's all of us doing it together.
how old are your kids?
My daughter is 2 and my son is 4. So they're at that wild age. Yeah, they're busy.
So it's almost good that you have a playground for them to hang out at when mom's doing some work.
Yeah. They go wild when they're in the gym. Usually I'll only bring them in really when it's off hours because we have over 500 members. at our gym. It's very large. It's a 20,000 square foot facility. So it's very, very large. So they'll have free reign of the gym. I try to keep it when it's quiet. I'll keep them in there when it's quiet, but they love to watch. I don't think they quite understand yet what's happening, but knowing that one day they will understand is just it's something that I hold really close when I'm training.
So, like, I'm super impressed by you.
Thank
One,
you.
you're the owner of a 500 member gym, which is beyond impressive. You picked up diving in a year, made it to university, made it to Olympic trials. You did gymnastics forever. Is this isn't a one and done thing with CrossFit in the games, right?
Is it a one and done thing? I hope not. No, it's so funny. Everybody's always afraid of aging up. We're afraid of aging in general, but I've seen this now as this is a start point. This is just year one. You know, when they release the new age group of what, 70 plus, I'm like, okay, we're going to keep going. We have a full lifetime of games opportunity, and just encouraging so many people to continue training. Like there is opportunity beyond the age of 30. And so we have to train. We have to change the way that we train. But if we can just keep our mindset very, very focused on what the end game is and what the goal is, it's just a start point. 35 to 39 start point. So yeah, this is year one. I'm hoping to go as long as I can physically go while managing being a mom and business owner and being excellent at all of it.
So this is my last question, and this has gone nowhere where I planned.
Okay.
It's great. And those are my favorite interviews. So you're a business owner and a coach, and I can tell that you love it.
I
And
do.
you speak like a coach.
Thank you.
What gives you more pleasure and satisfaction?
Mm.
Your success
Mm-hmm.
or your client's success?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it'll always be theirs. It'll always be theirs. It's a different experience. I think it's such a different experience to, I feel like all coaches say the same thing, to see their athletes or their members. You know, we have elite athletes, and the elite athletes are wonderful. They're spectacular. They're so driven. They know what they want to do. But then you have your gym member base, and a lot of them come in with different life experiences and have no idea what they're capable of. They have no idea what's actually possible. And so to watch them do things and surprise themselves and feel this sense of pride and joy in what they're accomplishing, I don't think there's any better feeling than seeing that, than seeing an average, everyday person put themselves in a scary, scary position to be very vulnerable and surpass any expectations that they ever had for themselves. It's such a beautiful thing to be a coach, honestly. So hands down what the members are able to accomplish.
So last follow-up, and that is, how hard is it for you to be selfish enough to make sure you're prepared to the best of your ability going into the CrossFit Games?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. It's an emotional battle. I'll be honest. It's an emotional battle. You feel like this will be pure honesty. You feel like you're not doing enough in every category in life. So trying to be the best mom I can be. I'm trying to be the best business and partner that I can be. I'm trying to be the best athlete that I can be. And so sometimes when you're trying to do all of it at the same time, you feel like you're just mediocre at everything instead of excelling where you truly want to excel. There is a level of acceptance in that. There is a level of a little bit of guilt in it. But at the end of the day, I always look for the positives. My children get to see this happen. The members get to be a part of this. The business gets to be a part of this. We all get to grow together. And I said to my mom the other day, you know, it's not always rainbows and butterflies getting to train for the games. It's not, because you can, you know, I've been lucky enough to be able to do this. I can physically do this. I can mentally do this. Doesn't mean that it's always the most, you know, exciting experience. It's exciting, but man, it is hard. Training this much is very, very hard. It's very hard. Is it worth it? Absolutely. But it's challenging for sure.
Are you taking a lot of people with you?
I'm taking my coach, just my coach and I. Yeah. It'll be, I think it'll be exactly what I need it to be. It'll be exactly what it should be. We've been working really hard, he and I together, for such a long time. And so it'll be what it's meant to be, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this. It's been a treat getting to know you.
Thank you.
I will be there.
Amazing.
We have negotiated full access to do a full behind the scenes of the Masters CrossFit Games. So Ellie Hiller and myself will be chatting with the athletes in the back,
Very cool.
and capturing as much of that as we can, and putting out episodes of a documentary following.
That's amazing. Good. Okay. Well, I'll get to meet you in person then. So that will be lovely.
You will. And everybody that is listening, thank you so much for that. We will see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys. See you.